Okay, we have a lot of good uh, ban picks here. We have the Senna and Jhin ban off of UMD and the Poppy, which we've seen Jason play Poppy here. Poppy has been really strong so far, I feel like, this season. Especially 14.18 was a good kind of buff patch for Poppy, I feel. We're going to see the Yone, the Hui, and the Camille ban from CSU. I don't necessarily agree with the Yone. Yone, I feel like, is a pretty... He's a pretty basic character, and if you play around him properly, you can kind of push him away from some things. I do agree with the Camille. I feel like Camille's a really solid engage support, decent on top lane, and just blows up in the late game, even when they're like severely underfed or in any terms. So long as they have kills, they're doing things. Skarner pick here, that's probably going to be... I doubt it's support. It could be Jason, but I've never seen Jason actually play Skarner before, so that's a little curious for me. We're going to see him go against a Gwen here. If that is Skarner top lane, going into Gwen's not that bad of a matchup here. We're going to see Ahri here on the mid, assuming that's Isaac's pick here. I haven't seen Ahri support really be viable in ages. So this is probably going to be a mid pick here for against the Syndra, which is a good counter pick. I think Ahri plays really strongly into Syndra, which means UMD kind of just... I feel like mids so far this season, especially like halfway through Season 14 here, has been like one of the most important roles in the game now. I mean, besides jungler, I feel mid has been very important for actually making movement happen in the game, making stuff happen. They're just basically there to flex. They're in the middle of the map. They can roll out to any lane they need to, any objective they need to. So yeah, no, to see Ahri get counter, or to see Syndra get counterpicked by Ahri here is really bad for UMD. Zeri coming out. We know that that's Scrublick Lord's current favorite ADC character. I guess not really favorite. One of his tops, though, for sure. One of his, like, easily top 3, maybe. We're going to see the Kayn come out here. Good jungle pick. I do feel like Beard is just going to be able to counterpick that with, like... Basically, most of the characters that he plays is going to counterpick this Kayn, though. So the Kayn's going to have to be very careful, play a bit more unique routing against this, just to kind of avoid maybe a Lilia, maybe a Zara. CSU's going to take a little while to pick here, though. Okay, there we go. We have the Varus ban from CSU. They're probably banning Varus just to protect themselves from the Zeri. Don't know who UMD's banning here. I didn't see any ban from them. Is that just going to be an empty ban from UMD? Not entirely sure what's going on here from either side. They missed a ban opportunity there. They're going to just ban Lulu. Sucks for UMD being a little delayed here. If CSU were to be a bit nicer, they would leave their ban open. But I have a feeling they're going to probably end up banning somebody here anyways. I would imagine they'd probably ban somebody like... Rel's kind of interesting. I was going to say Milio or... maybe even like... what's her name? Kiana? Though granted, they have banned a lot of ADC characters already. Kind of chiseling down the support here. Rel might be a counterpick to what Aqualad here might be going for the support pick. Still haven't seen Beard Weird here pick a character either, so I'm kind of excited to see what ends up being picked out here. Nobody... Oh, there we go. We have an Ashe pick here on UMD. Very strong utility character, I feel. That's probably going to end up being ADC, though. I don't think Ashe support's really all that viable anymore. That being said, though, that doesn't mean it doesn't have a place in the meta. There are some ADC characters that do benefit from Ashe's kit, but I feel like Ashe... And we're going to see the Rakan get pulled out here by Aqualad. Very, very strong support character here in today's meta. It's just super well balanced, super in the middle. He has the CC, he has the heals, he has the sustain, he has the peel. All of them are kind of mediocre, minus the CC. But I mean, hey, if you have a character that can CC, you have a character that can peel, you have a character that can heal, that's pretty big to play, especially with Zeri here. And we've seen Zeri and Rakan here by CSU a few times, and they've done pretty good work on bot lane. Now, it hasn't exactly won CSU games, but I feel like it's a really strong duo. It works, especially considering Rakan and Zeri both have their own peel abilities. They can get out of situations fast, they can play a bit more risky, they can chase if they need to. And I think that's the huge thing for this kind of duo partnership here on bot lane, is the fact that Zeri Rakan is just really, really strong given their kits. We don't really see it a whole lot in the current meta, but that doesn't mean it doesn't work, especially paired within a move gank. Just a move being really strong here. Another thing that counterpicks Kayn, I probably would have liked to have seen a Lilia with this, but I feel like the Ahri here is going to be building into AP. The Rakan's going to have a little bit of AP going for it. Amumu can really flex either tank, AP, or AD, depending on how you look at it. So I feel like the Amumu here is going to be really flexible, very strong as well. The Milio pairing up with the Ashe is very strong as well. This is why I was thinking, you know, either banning Milio or Kiana here over the Rel. But I do see how Rel... The amount of CC that Rel pulls out now, and just that movement speed buff from the E that Rel has, is just really, really strong with Ashe, really strong with a lot of characters, I feel, especially Jinx. Jinx Ashe with Rel is just really... It's hard to describe other than just... You just gotta play careful against it, because you get CC'd by Rel, you get chained by either a Q or a W, and then they pop that E on their ADC. Their ADC is going to move in. They're going to play Reckless. They're going to get a kill out of it. They might even get 2 kills out of it. And if there's enough item haste on that Rel, they're going to CC again, and they're going to get... It's just... Rel is extremely finicky in today's meta, because I feel like she's not that strong of a tank, especially in the magic resist department. I feel like characters like Blitzcrank and Nautilus play that role a whole lot better. But the amount of CC that Rel has is just a little gross. Alright, we should be seeing CSU hop into this game here momentarily.
So, last Saturday, this was actually something that CSU played. Generally, they actually played it with, I think, the different jungler, but different support. It was more of like a tankier engage support. I think it was a... But the Rakan works the same. What they're going to do is they're going to send the Skarner into the back line, engage with the E from that off angle while they back away from the... They're going to use the Rakan W to bait, force them back into the Skarner. So it's a double-pronged engage. Then they're going to Amumu.
Yeah. No, it's just... That's going to be exciting to see pulled off here. And then, like I said, the Zeri Rakan is a very strong peel combo, in my opinion. So now I'm excited to see this Skarner. Now I see why opposing teams have been banning it apparently in the recent season, especially the Poppy. I feel like Jason's Poppy's not scary. I just feel like they ban it to get rid of the utility. Because we've seen CSU's utility comp once before, and it's scary to play against. You don't want to be playing against the utility comp because you just feed the ADC at that point. And feeding the ADC in a utility comp is basically just asking for death. And there's nothing that you can really do about it other than play more safe. And I feel like a lot of the team comps that a lot of people in these and this bracket at least are very, how do I put it? They're very aggressive comps, I feel like. The Syndra, the Kayn, and the Gwen, you have two AP characters. You have the Milio, who's going to be running a mix of AP and item haste. You have the Kayn, who's going to be really your only main AD assassin character. Kind of not really assassin anymore, but I mean, he gets the job done in that same aspect. And then you have the Ashe, who's a mix of utility and ADC. Ashe is not going to be able to pull out a lot of damage early on. That's going to be a late game pick here. So, like, you're basically banking on this Gwen to win lane. You're banking on the Syndra to flex properly. And a losing lane against Ahri, mind you, because that's a bad matchup for Syndra. You're expecting the Kayn, who, granted, hasn't been counterpicked, and thank you for the follow, Bright, hasn't been exactly counterpicked by the Amumu, but I feel like the Kayn is going to have a harder time in these losing lanes. I mean, like, the only lane that this Kayn's going to have that's guaranteed to be in a neutral state is probably going to be the Zeri Rakan versus Ashe Milio. The Skarner here, I'm just going to go ahead and bank on Jason here playing the Skarner really well against this Gwen. It's about a 50-50 matchup, I feel. And it's not a bad... It's not a bad thing for either character, realistically, but the Ahri is just going to shred this poor Syndra. The Ahri is going to eat well. The Zeri Rakan combo could eat well if this Ashe and Milio don't play safe. The Milio pick, I feel, isn't really going to benefit Ashe a whole lot. It does have the sustain. It does have a little bit of that damage that's going to allow them to peel away slightly. It has the poke, which is the important parts here. The part that it's missing is the engage, which is what Kayn's going to really need just to be able to survive a lot of these ganks and interactions in the bot lane. I feel like you give Zeri 2 kills, Kayn's not going to be able to do anything without getting 2 kills of his own. And he's going to be risking dying for those 2 kills, mind you. Some of those engagements might even be solo for Kayn. Might even just be a 2v1 against a possibly fed and CS heavy Ahri against a bulky and tanky Skarner that's going to have a lot of util, a lot of armor going for him. And I mean, the really only bet that this Kayn has is finding a Mumu in jungle and trying to kill him early. Maybe even with a leash from their team here. We're going to be starting the game here now.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Seconds until minions spawn. Minions have spawned.
We're gonna see Beard's weird here. We're gonna see this Syndra take an early lead here. Beard's weird taking enemy, some enemy jungle here. So is this Kayn, bit overextended. I feel like that was a read from either of them. Try to get down there, poke around the enemy jungle, find some space to take. Kayn's gonna be able to peel out of there pretty quickly. No really wards from anybody just yet. A little surprising. I feel like warding at least that bush in the beginning is good. CSU knew that Kayn started on red buff, though. They didn't really do anything to go against it, surprisingly. But they know that he's there. Isaac's a little bit behind early on here, starting to peel back. Did win the interaction against the Syndra. Syndra's going to be coming back to lane now, though. That's going to be a stun there from the Syndra. Only a matter of time, though, before this Ahri starts to really get their things together. Start to do a lot of damage to this poor Syndra. We're going to see Jason there retreating on top lane. He did get some good CS in, but this Gwen's just feeding on the CS a whole lot quicker here. I feel like the AP is going to be able to shred through the Skarner a little earlier than I anticipated. Let's grab like Lord and Aqualad here, though. Doing a lot better on bot lane than everyone else is. Kayn poking around, trying to find this Amumu. Amumu's going to be setting up a gank on bot lane, though, waiting for them to kind of approach back. We're going to see him kind of dash back out, though. We're going to see Jason getting out of there. That was a kill that Jason claimed there as well on the Gwen. Khan's going to purchase Oracle Lens. Probably already got his... he doesn't quite have it just yet, but I'm sure he's close to it, which is why he picked up Oracle Lens there. Trying to keep things efficient, not wanting to reset too much there. Beard's weird, going to be setting up a gank on mid, deciding to reset instead. He's probably going to go back, grab his Kronks. Never mind, Syndra's going to come up. Check Bush! The wrong time. Kha'Zix might be able to get a charm off here. Does not quite get it, though. Dragon's going to spawn, though. CSU's going to have a advantage here on the Drake. Jason's going to be on top lane again. Resetting against this Gwen. It's a 50-50 matchup here on the top lane as well. I still think Jason's going to be able to root this out a little bit late in the game. He's going to go for that tank build. Gwen's going to go for that AP build that Gwen's always go for. Rudimentary. And it's consistent, which is the good part. Skarner's not quite as consistent. He does have to play around enemy a little bit more precariously, but I think Jason knows a lot of the matchups pretty thoroughly. You see Kha'Zix here, not really getting any kills on the Syndra, but being able to space out that Syndra really well. Mumu going to be a little bit behind on this Kayn here. Wanting to get this Gromp. Kayn's going to go ahead and back off, though, not wanting to contest that. He is going to have a ward down in Bush. That control ward's going to be giving them a lot of information. We're going to see Aqualad there having to peel away. They're going to get a kill off, though. Aqualad's going to get the heal. There's going to be a flash down there, but it's going to be a double kill there. That Ashe should not have flash for that. That Ashe should have peeled away using W and could have survived that interaction. That's a miss. It's just a miss for UMD here. Isaac's gonna ward that. Might go back to farm some more. He doesn't see the Syndra. Syndra's waiting in bush for him to return the lane, try to collect that kill. Beard's Weird's coming down, though. Gonna be able to take up some space, provide a bit of a threat there. The Syndra could still get a kill there. But Kha'Zix is just gonna back out of there. Syndra and the Kayn are going to set up on the Drake here. Kha'Zix is going to die. He's going to fall there. CSU's going to go for Drake here, trying to contest some space. Kayn's going to waste his, not flash, but his smite. Aqualad's going to be pushing back down the bot lane. Darius going to be taking up space, making sure that this Kayn doesn't try to fall anywhere. We're going to have Drake get poked here by Rakan. Just trying to get some information there. They did get some good information. They know that they're not taking Drake. They know that they're backed off. Good for CSU. This bot lane for CSU is looking really strong already as well. They're ahead in CS. They have 2 kills. Your Rakan sitting here carrying 2 control wards, ready to pop him down whenever he wants to. He's got his recovery pot. Ari's sitting, chilling in mid lane. Not the most ahead of the Syndra here, but not doing half shabby either. Sitting at level 7. That ult's going to be really dangerous for that Syndra as well. Jason's going to be able to do a lot of damage here. Get some good trades off there. He's going to pull him back. And unfortunately, he's going to fall without getting that Gwen kill. That sucks for Jason there. Now you got to guess, where is this Kayn going next? Amumu might try to solo take Drake here. And he does seem to be doing a good job at doing that. He has the items he needs for it. He has Bambi Cinders, which is going to be just slowly draining the HP off of Drake. Here comes Kha'Zix as well. Abandoning lane, Syndra's been pushed far back under tower, which is good. Just going to be poking around, trying to figure out some information, where this Kayn went, where this Kayn might be now. He's going to be saving his smite. He knows he can take it without the smite. He knows that there's nobody poking around. He's probably going to save it for this blue buff here. Kha'Zix almost dying, living on a sliver of hell. That's 5 HP there. That's absolutely crazy. It's better for him to back right now, but he's going to want to keep moving. He wants to collect some of that gold. He's going to get out of that Syndra pretty quickly there. That's good for him. Syndra is surprisingly not doing half bad against an Ari in a losing matchup. Jason going to want to be coming in here. Going to stun this poor Syndra and absolutely decimate him. He's going to take some of that CS, and he's probably going to return the top lane here. He is a little bit wary of this Gwen right now. He doesn't exactly have the equipment necessary for taking care of this Gwen, especially now that they have a strong rod there that gives a decent amount of AP. I wonder if they're building straight into Rabadon's death cap there. That might be an interesting play here for this Gwen to take. Jason's also a level ahead. Oh, never mind. The Gwen's now caught up. We're going to see a lot going on here in the bot lane river. Jason's still getting shredded by this Gwen, taking them back in the tower. Unfortunately, the Gwen has enough CS resistance to get out of that quickly. It's going to be Jason going down again against Gwen. Look at this Ashe just playing very warily. It's not going to work out late game, considering Zeri's already gotten 3 kills, hasn't died once. Yes, Aqualad's died twice, but I mean, look at those assists. Look at the CS that CSU has over in bot lane. Yeah, this Gwen's looking a bit strong, and like I said, this team comp here from UMD is going to be relying heavily on that Syndra, heavily on that Gwen. Not so much on the bot lane. They're going to be relying on that utility from the bot lane for the sustain and the CS. We're going to see Zeri resetting there. Isaac's getting pushed back by the Syndra again. Interestingly enough, we're going to see Rakan diving on that Ashe, getting the kill here. Beard's Weird taking some turret hits for the team. Zeri getting another kill, or just a whole lot of gold lead coming here from CSU. They're still behind, though, in terms of gold. But, I mean, let's be honest. CSU's bot lane is just looking extremely strong. I mean, yeah, they're behind on CS, but since Mumu's been doing a lot of ganks here, setting up their team really strong here. Yes, they're behind on gold, but they're also just ahead in a lot of other things here. I mean, you have a really strong support, you have a really strong ADC. Your jungle's not actually far behind the Kayn here, simply because of the amount of assists that they have at this point. Jason's not falling behind this Gwen at all. I feel like it's still pretty even. Actually, they did just take a turret, so this Gwen does have some good CS advantage, has some gold advantage over Jason now as well. Gwen popping their immunity a bit too early there, probably expecting Jason there to pull probably a stun. Jason's just gonna keep poking though. Gwen's gonna use their dash there to get out of there. Kaiser's gonna come in though, wanting to collect this kill. That's a shutdown there by Jason. That's a good kill for him to collect there, bringing him back against this Gwen. CSU's just gotta keep going for these kills at this point. They're behind on the objectives, they're behind on gold. They are catching up on the CS side of things. But I just feel like this Kayn's starting to get really strong. The Syndra's starting to get really strong. This Gwen's a little strong and a little scary. Isaac's gonna be in a bit of a pickle here. Gonna get out of there. Jason's gonna be going towards bot lane here. Trying to make some movement happen. We've seen this before. CSU uses these crazy team comps here. They fall behind early, but then they start making that comeback. I feel like the Tristana built into this would be really strong, but Kaisek's on the Ahri here with that Charm ult is just going to be really strong as well, though. I see TSU taking Drake number 2, which is going to kind of return them back into a leading position here. That's really strong for CSU to take that blue Drake. Mountain Rising is going to be good for Jason to collect as well if they can take the next Drake as well. It's going to give him a bit of an edge against this Gwen coming up in the future. He's going to be rotating back around, though. Going to find that control ward that's been chilling there for a long time. Now that Jason's starting to get a lot of this magic resist up as well, this Gwen's starting to look a little weaker. Taking the Mercury treads here or the Gwen, I don't think that's the right option here. I feel like you need that magic pen from the sorcerer shoes. We're gonna see another turret get fallen here. We're gonna see Kayn get pulled back out of there. We're gonna see Scrubbic Lord here, basically holding lane on his own against 2 people. It's kind of surprising. Me pushing back the tower. Beard's Weird is gonna have to fight this really strong Kayn here, though. Things looking really dire for Beard's Weird. He's on low HP, but he's gonna start healing. He's gonna pop a pot there. He's gonna get back in this game. Kayn's gonna get absolutely stomped there by the Zeri. A Scrubbic Lord just looking extremely strong at the moment. There's not really a whole lot that UMD can do against it. I mean, like, look at the 5 kills, 2 assists, 166 CS. Scrubbing Lord's so far ahead of everybody in this game, including the Gwen. I don't think there's really a whole lot that they could do other than just trying to group up on him. They need to. He has Static Shiv. He has Battle Boots. He has Zeal. His attack speed is just going to be absolutely insane. His crit opportunity is going to be not half shabby. And I mean, the major thing that they're going to be looking out for is the static shiv. If Scrubbic Lord gets a kill, that's 500 damage plus more, depending on different things, that the Zeri's just going to do literally everything that can be hit by it. And that goes to show just how useful Amumu is in these situations. Yeah, he's behind on CS, but he's starting to catch up now this late game because of the assists and because of the numerous amount of ganks Beardweird has pulled off this game. There goes Static Shiv, chaining up, getting some more CS there. I see them fall back into bush here. Wonder what the game plan for CSU is here. I mean, Jason's still farming on bot lane. You have everybody pushing up on top. They're probably trying to take that objective. They know that there's a lot going on in mid lane. They want to force to pop here. And I think they just want to pull them away from the Drake. I have a feeling Drake is about to spawn. I don't really have a timer on it. But it seems like that UMD is just going to give CSU that turret. And there we go. Jason with that magic resist finally starting to have an edge against this Gwen. Okay. We're going to see this Ashe try to take down Jason here. Jason playing it really safe here, trying to learn some things in, knowing this Milio can be really strong. Going to go for that armor boost. He's going to throw the rock, unfortunately missing his targets here. Kane's lingering nearby. I don't think Jason knows that. If he overextends here, he could be in a really bad position. Fortunately enough, he's not. Beardweird actually moving in, carrying off the Kane. Beardweird chasing the Milio. Not going too deep. He doesn't have any information on where that Kane went. Kane actually went to mid lane though. Beardweird could have chased that if he wanted to. But they're going to go for this Drake here. I think that's good for the Skarner to take. I don't know why Jason's warping back though. It's going to be really bad for CSU here. Team fight. It's a 5v4. Scrubbic Lord's going to have to carry the whole team here. Beardweird getting absolutely shut down. CSU doesn't really have a whole lot of opportunity to CS here. We're going to have to peel back. They might be able to get this Kane kill, though. There we go. Kaizek splices the Kane kill. Jason going to get his prick off. And unfortunately, the fork is not enough. CSU could still lose this team fight. Kaizek's still looking really strong, though. Scrubbic Lord's going to be able to get out of there alive, luckily enough. Rakan going down there. Kaizek's getting taken out. Scrubbic Lord's the last one alive. Luckily, nobody's going to collect his bounty, though. It's looking good for CSU here. Here's where he's going to respawn. They're going to start falling behind in CS, but that third Drake is actually going to bring them back ahead of the game here, I feel. Even with the gold shortage, I think CSU is just having... With these Drake buffs, man, it's just... They're looking a whole lot stronger. They do need to go for... the Baron here eventually. But I think forcing it here would be a bad idea, considering they are behind on gold, they are behind on CS globally. Scrubbic Lord and Rakan really have to be carrying things here. Especially becoming wary of this Ashe now. They have some attack speed. They have Ryuan's Hurricane. See Jason here. Here comes the Kane, moving in. Not wanting to get too close here. Dude, Jason's armor is absolutely insane against this Gwen. He's going to be able to start shredding the Gwen. Honestly, the Kane should have stuck around. He's going to move up river, probably trying to get a gank here on mid lane. But Jason is not holding anything back. But he's going to get absolutely shredded there by Gwen. And a good distraction for Jason as well. You're going to start going for Baron, forcing Baron out. I think CSU is going to end up paying for that, though. Syndra's gonna get fed a little bit more. And unfortunately, somebody just collected that. That was the Kayn collecting the bounty on Scrub McLord. Just fueling more.
Red team double kill.
And don't tell me what happened just happened. Oh, Riot. Oh, no. Okay, well, this is a problem that we tend to have a lot with Riot. And I feel like it has a lot to do with the fact that we're in full screen here. We're just going to go ahead and fix this right now. And that's unfortunate. We are currently frozen. We're not going to get to see the end of this game, I think. We can try to join mid-game, but I don't think we're going to really get a whole lot going here. That's unfortunate. I'll try to get us back in the game here. We are popping back into it, and it does look like things are just... Yeah, this is where they started going after the Baron here, I think. This is literally just going to be a repeat of what we just saw here. Will it freeze in the same spot? I'm not entirely sure. But we're going to stick with it for now. It does look like things are continuing off. Good. We're no longer frozen. That's a good sign. We're going to be seeing Jason here trying to push back this Gwen. We know the Gwen's strong. We know the Gwen can absolutely shred a lot of people on our team. We've seen it happen. Baron Ashore getting taken by UMD is a big loss for CSU. They had this massive gold deficit now. And yeah, they have all these Drake buffs, but this massive gold deficit is going to be really bad for CSU. Unfortunately, that's another kill for UMD. 70-20 now. CSU is looking really bad. This is starting to look really bad for CSU. I don't think there's any way to really recover at this point. This Gwen's just really strong. The Syndra's just really strong. I'm actually surprised the Syndra's got so ahead. Jason rolling out here. I mean, the most that CSU can really do is just sit back, try to CS farm, try to make let the UMD here make mistakes. Weird playing extremely safe here. Hoping that there would have been Krugs there, but unfortunately there is not. Looks like Kayn took them. They really need to take out the Syndra though. 250 gold bounty could be what somebody needs to really be able to contest here, because really, so far, the only person able to contest against the team is Scrub McLord, and if Scrub McLord goes down, that's immediately a team fight lost for CSU. They need to do everything they can to protect Scrub McLord, because that's their cannon. They need him alive. I think the strat here now is just to start split pushing, but I feel CSU is really just starting to dilly-dally a little bit in the forest here, in the jungle. It's Kane coming out. Jason getting out of there. UMD seeming to group up on top lane here. CSU's gonna move to kind of counteract that. Jason's gonna be able to hold on his own pretty well with some of these pokes. See this Gwen split pushing, just really strong. This is going to be extremely careful here against it, staying out of range of this Gwen, going for the CCs. That's going to be a huge stun from CSU. Kane's going to come in though, using his flash. Fortunately, that's not going to be. Maybe that might be a Gwen down. There's Gwen down. CSU just have to take out this Kane, and they might be able to win this team fight. And that's going to be a huge rebound from CSU. But this Syndra's going to come in though, and absolutely start annihilating. That's unfortunate for CSU. It does look like that's going to be the end of it here. Unless CSU can pull out some sort of miracle. UMD is just going to absolutely decimate everything in the next few seconds. And that's it for CSU. That's game. Game 1 going to UMD. That's unfortunate for CSU. I feel like early game we were really strong. I think some strategies maybe need to change there to counter that lineup. It is a bit of an experimental team composition, and it's a really strong combo if they can pull it off. But I think they just couldn't pull it off there. We'll be having a round 2 here in a second. Hopefully CSU here can make a comeback here. We are taking a bit of a water break. We're going to be reviewing that VOD in the middle of games here as well. And we'll be starting the next game, and hopefully CSU can take the next one, bringing it up to game 3, and hopefully figure out what kind of comp they need to really kind of counter UMD here. I feel like that was a very strong opening comp. I feel like their utility comp is a little bit more consistent for an opening comp, but a lot of those characters tend to get banned pretty early. We're lucky to see that they didn't get banned this time around, and I feel like the Ahri should have won against the Syndra here. But I think the more dangerous thing here was that the Kane started getting fed, the Syndra started doing some ganks here, getting some kills, getting ahead of the Ahri, which I think is necessary. That's how you should be playing the Syndra against the Ahri, I feel. The Gwen started winning lane against Jason Skarner, which is a little bit scary. The Ashe Milio were behind, but I mean, when your only failsafe is Zari, who is very, very strong compared to the Gwen, compared to the Syndra, compared to the Kayn, all you need is a Syndra and a Gwen, or a Syndra and a Kayn, or a Kayn and a Gwen, or heck, even just one of those being followed by the Milio, and you're in a solid position to take care of the Zeri there, that situation. We'll be seeing the next game getting loaded up here. While I'm waiting here, I am going to go ahead and add a crop filter here. I'm wildin'. I don't think I'm wildin'. That was a pretty big gold lead. If you look back, it was almost 9k. I feel like that Syndra and that Gwen just started snowballing at the end, though. That's what it was. Okay. Our draft screen is looking a little bit bigger now. We are waiting for the next game here. Once we get draft up, I will get that rolling. Going to be CSU taking red this game, top side. Wonder if that's going to make any changes. I'm not entirely sure. I think this is also just fearless. So that means the characters that were just used can't be used again, I feel. I think that's how fearless works. I think CSU's preparing their since this is Fearless, they're preparing for their next match here. I'm trying to figure out what they want to roll out as. I want to see what both teams are going to pull out here. I think that's the exciting part to see in Fearless, is that you're going to see two new team comps from both teams. I think this is where we can't even use the we can't use the Ashe for the utility. So I wonder if they have a substitute workaround for that. Now that the Zeri Rakan combo's out, I mean, it's a really strong combo, and I wish CSU waited to pull it out, but I have a feeling if they don't ban Draven, we're going to see a Draven come out, and that's going to be exciting. I feel like Draven Rel, considering we can still pull out the Rel, Draven not, maybe, Nautilus Varus. Alright, we're going to be seeing some more bans here. Does look like we're getting ready for this next draft pick in a moment. CSU still on their water break. I feel like everybody's kind of ready, getting locked in for this next game, though. I don't think CSU's out of it just yet. I feel like that last game was a fluke with that experimental team composition. I feel like it could have worked against any other team. I feel like the Ahri was a strong pick against the Syndra. It's just unfortunate that the Syndra got so ahead so late in the game, the way that it did. I think the Tristana's the good pick here. For Kaizix to really stick with. I feel like his Tristana's really consistent. I haven't been disappointed by it yet. And I think the strong picks here from CSU should be coming out for this game. I mean, they gotta make or break now. And since this is Fearless, we have saved the Tristana. We lost the Zeri Rakan, but that doesn't mean... I mean, we've seen Scrub McLord and Aqualad pull out some really good combos besides Zeri Rakan. I feel like Zeri Rakan's just super special right now, especially with this team composition with the Skarner. We're probably going to see an Amumu. We could see the utility comp and see Ivern come out. Could see Zara come out as well for the utility comp. We can't have the Ashe for the ADC for the utility comp. That makes me wonder, like, what the ADC would pick for utility. I mean, just the sheer annoyance of the amount of just the amount of CC that comes out of CSU's utility comps, a little insane. I think honestly a good ADC pick besides Ashe would probably be Kog'Maw. I know he's not all that strong right now, but he can keep up with a lot of what's going on there. I think the Xayah could come out as well. Thanks for the raid. Everybody coming over from Overwatch here. We will be starting shortly. I'm basically rolling through the right now we're just kind of talking about like what comps we could see, what character picks we could see from CSU or UMD. I really want to see a Nidalee, but we know that that's just going to get absolutely shredded by just about anybody. Nidalee's just so weak right now. Unless you're an ARAM, for whatever reason, Nidalee just cooks an ARAM. Rengar is pretty high, pretty strong right now as well. I'd be excited to see him, though I know that not many people play him. Soraka would be interesting to see, though I know Aqua doesn't really play Soraka a whole lot. Mid lane, I know Kaisek's pulling out the Tristana. 100% has to be. Alright, we are ready draft from CSU. We are moving in it, I feel. We're seeing the Poppy ban again by UMD. I think that's something to be reasonably afraid of. They want to try to cut off this utility. And if they were smart, they would probably ban the Ivern as well. See the Camille ban again. We're going to see the Senna ban. I don't know anybody that plays Senna on CSU's side. So it's interesting to see that ban. Maybe they just don't like playing against it. Maybe they really don't want to play against it. We're going to see the Hwei ban again. Kaisek's really don't want to face Hwei in the mid lane. We're going to see the Zac ban now. See the Yone get banned again. So UMD here is a little bit of afraid of Jason Zac. And I mean, that's to be expected. I mean, Jason Zac is really consistent, really scary. We're going to see UMD pull out a Volibear here. It's an interesting pick. It could either be top, it could either be jungle. We've seen CSU fall to a split pushing Volibear before, and it's a very hard character to deal with. I mean, Volibear has just been overtuned since the day of his rework. We're going to see immediately Kaisek's lock in that Tristana. Good pick to have. Very few things counter Tristana, I feel, especially just given the amount of peel that Tristana has. We're going to see CSU also lock into Rel. So we know that CSU is going for a CC heavy comp here now. Not quite the utility comp, I don't think. We could see a little bit of that utility come through. I'd like to see a Zara come in here. I feel like the Zara, Tristana, and Rel combo could do a whole lot together. See the Draven get picked here from UMD. That's unfortunate for CSU. Draven's just still really strong with that crit build. He has gotten a bit nerfed here. He's not quite as strong as he used to be. But that doesn't mean he's not scary up to go up against, especially if it gets that CS lead. It's just really, really bad for anybody on bot lane. Draven's just the sheer amount of, and just everything about Draven's kit is scary to go against. I see the Braum come out as well. Draven Braum, not quite as strong of a duo as I'd expect. I would like to have seen like Camille Braum or like Draven mixed with like an enchanter, like a. I mean, they can't really pull out Milio again, but I was gonna say Milio. You could also pull out Lulu. Draven Lux really, really strong. We're gonna see Jhin get popped here. Draven Bard would be really fun to watch as well. I always forget that Bard's a character that exists. Draven Brand would just be annoying. I wouldn't even want to play that game. I would dodge immediately. if my opposing team picked in draft Draven Brand, I would just. I'll take that 15-minute ban. I'll dodge. I'll catch y'all in the next game. See the Orianna ban from CSU here. Renekton getting banned now. I'm gonna see the Lily coming out. Still would have liked to see the Zara, especially with this team comp. I think the Lily is gonna work well though, considering Jhin. Jin's really gonna fill a lot of the roles that Zara does, anyways. It's a bit exciting to see Jhin mixed with Rel. I think it's a pretty decent team comp. I mean, I am a Rel main. I should know. Just Rel in general does really well with a lot of those ranged ADC characters. Kennen on top lane, probably, maybe even mid lane. Makes me think this Volibear is going to end up being jungle, though. Not sure how I feel about the Kennen. I feel like this could be a mid lane pick. We're going to see the Severe come out here, and now that I'm confused. Now I'm actually really confused. Severe mid lane? Double ADC with the Draven? Draven top lane? Volibear jungle? Kennen jungle? That's a thing. We're going to see the Ornn pick just to play it safe, though. I do think if CSU can stall for a good while, we'll see a very strong late game. Actually, let's go ahead and talk about these team comps real quick. Let's be honest here. UMD just kind of threw some things out. I'm not entirely sure who this Braum's with. If it's Draven, I'd rather see Severe. Severe Braum, not half bad. I feel Kennen. I feel like Kennen's gonna end up being top lane, Volibear jungle. I'm not entirely sure though. I mean, Kennen jungle does exist. It is a thing that does exist. So it makes me wonder, like, what we could be seeing here. Alright, gonna be getting this game started here. It is gonna be Kennen top, so yeah, nope, that's gonna be Draven mid. I mean, that might be the way that you just counter Tristana on mid. It's gonna be interesting to see. And yeah, the Severe Braum, I did say that I prefer that sort of matchup there. This Draven could be really scary eventually. I'm not entirely sure what we want to expect here. From CSU's team here. I mean, they're going to have to be playing for the late game, I feel. But they can't, because the Draven, if they just let the Draven get powerful, that's going to be scary. If they let the Volibear do Volibear shenanigans, then that's going to be scary. I mean, listen. I don't think UMD's jungler is special by any means. I don't think UMD has a scary jungler by any means. I think Beardweird's got him up. I will say that jungler was super farm heavy early on, and I think that's what made their Kayn pretty strong. Moving into this though, I think the Ornn might not be the right pick to go against Kennen here. I mean, even against the Volibear, I don't think it's really the strongest pick that you can have. And I'm a little concerned for Jason here. I mean, if he gets ganked, I don't think he's gonna really have a whole lot of opportunity to get out. I mean, it is Ornn. Ornn does have some decent peel. So as far as concern is concerned, it's not really that bad. But I am a little scared for him. As far as Furies also go, I'm really interested to see how this Draven Tristana goes. I mean, that's the most... That's going to be the most interesting lane here, is mid lane. Just seeing how that goes. Because that's basically ADC versus ADC at this point. Kha'Zix is probably not going to want to roll for the games that he has been. Spectator delay is just going to be fun to sit through. We should be starting here soon, though, folks. I think the biggest thing about this match, you're not going to really be able to do much to the Braum. I'm sorry, Braum's just, his armor is really strong. Jin's AD, Rel's AD, a mix of AD and AP, really. Rel can become very bolstered. The major fear is the Kennen popping off. We have the Lilia, but we really don't have a whole lot of magic going on here. We have the Volibear, we have the Kennen. Those are both really strong AP. Did the game just crash, or did we get an early... Was that early, or did I just really talk for a whole minute without realizing I was talking for a whole minute? We're gonna see pizza delivery severe. That's pretty fun. Battle Queen Rel, one of my favorite skins in the game. Okay. We're looking back good and pretty here. Beardsbird's going to be starting in a nice position.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
That Volibear walking up. Beardweird not really too happy about that. He's going to be doing what he can here to just kind of space things out. I see Jason up here with his orange skin. We know we love that orange skin. He knows the cannon's there. He knows the cannon's there. I don't know if the cannon knows he's there, but he knows the cannon's there. Lily getting a nice little poke there on the bear. Things are starting off pretty nicely. And I think CSU is going to be off to a good start here. Volibear is going to be starting on blue buff. Jason's going to be waiting for this cannon to walk up. Yeah, just this mid lane is going to be really exciting to watch later on. I feel like early on right now it's not that big of a deal. Spot lane's looking pretty balanced here. Aqualad proving that Rel just has really strong armor at the beginning. There's one thing to nerf about Rel, it's the armor, it's not the movement speed. I feel like the movement speed is a part of Rel's kit. And you need to let her have it. Like, come on, Riot. She's literally riding a horse. Why is she slower than all the four-legged everything in this game? See the good stun there by Braum. Decent dive there by Aqualad. I'm liking the way that this Jin's going. Isaac's giving up some space to this Draven. He knows he'll have his chance eventually. He just has to wait. We did see a first blood on bot lane there. That's going to be a shared... Aqualad, Scrub, McLord just really strong together, let's be honest. It's a little scary what they can do. They're going to have to reset here, though, if they want to play things safe. This Volibear is right around the corner. Could collect on either of them. That's exactly what they're going to do. Volibear is going to choose to reset as well. Jason, we're looking really low. This cannon matchup is going to be really, really bad for Jason. I feel like the Ornn pick's still a safe pick, though. He provides at least some good things, especially with his passive later on in the game. It'll definitely help Jin in the Rel, for sure. Jason's in a really bad spot at this point. And yeah, that's just going to be a death from Jason there. We're going to see Beardsweird coming in, though. He could try to get this bear kill. I think he's going to rather get the CS, though. I think the CS is good for him just to collect on. McLord, Aqualad doing really good spacing here. Getting some good maneuvers in. Isaac's almost dying to this Draven. That's going to be it. I think the Draven, yeah, the Draven just makes the mid lane a ADC versus ADC lane. Gonna bring the kills back even. Gold leads belonging to UMD here. Bit of a scary situation to find yourself in if you're CSU. Especially now that your Tristana's behind. It's not looking great. Kha'Zix is starting to make that peel back though. Things are looking better for Kha'Zix now. CSU's going to be able to pull out that Drake. Jason's going to return the top lane. I mean, they have to know if they're on Drake. Nobody's on lane at this point. And they're going to end up taking Void Grubs in response to the Drake. Them claiming Drake. I can't talk anymore. And I think that's a good trade for them early on, for the Volibear at least, to get that gold lead back. CSU's going to be in quite a tough position to kind of start regaining this gold lead, especially considering Jhin doesn't really clear waves all that quickly, which means that Scrub McLord is going to be a little bit slower than he was last game. He's just going to have to rely on some of those kills a little bit more than he did last game. Jason's also just looking pretty far behind here on top lane. It's not looking all that great for him. This was a safe pick though. Ornn is just going to be able to boost the rest of his team later on pretty well. Kennen is just really annoying to deal with. And honestly, to be quite fair, I'd rather play against a Teemo than a Kennen. Every day of the week. Not entirely sure what happened on bot lane there. Now that Jason's in a bit of a pickle again. He's going to be in a very bad position. Unfortunately, not able to take a kill. This Kennen might go down, though.
Executed.
At least that doesn't get any money given to anybody else, though. So the Kennen having 2 kills now, Jason being down in so much CS, it's really, really bad for the top lane here. You really need this Tristana to start getting something going. Go ahead and see Beard's Beard here. Doing a little bit of farming. Not a whole lot going on at this point in time. Farming's going to be a bit slow here on the bot lane. Jason really needs some of this farm back. Jason at least knows there's a ward there. I mean, why else would a cannon go down there, you know? Guy's gonna have lane to himself here. We're gonna see that wisp there. Four-man push, that Braum shield coming in handy. Gonna have to move in quickly here. Beard's Beard, gonna have to make something happen. Nana starting to fall back behind on CS for trying to set up something with that gank. I think you just, as Tristana here, you just accept the fact that you're behind. You start going for some of these maneuvers, you start trying to get some more kills out for your team. I do think that Tristana is going to be really powerful late game, especially with some Ornn items. But this Draven is just so scary at the moment. Jason getting the Spectre Cowl now. Really, really solid. Good first item for Ornn against an AP character. Probably the only thing that you'd want to take there. I see them start to roll out here. Going for this Volibear. You're going to get the splashdown down. This Volibear is dead, and it's going to be a Braum dead most likely too here. And that's just, oh my goodness. CSU absolutely destroying things. They're going to get after this Draven here. Reli's going to fall, though. We're going to see CSU back out of that situation, though. Not wanting to fight this Draven, not wanting to give him kills. Fortunately, I mean, it's really hard here to not give the Draven kills, though. He walks in, he collects one, he flees. That's all he really needs to do. Scrubback Lord here getting the Collector. Really, really big item for him, though. Drake spawning here. Somebody's gonna have to force that, I feel. If nobody forces Drake, that's gonna be pretty bad for CSU, I think. Everybody's going bot lane. No, everybody's piling up on Drake here. We're going to pull the Drake out. They want something to happen here. Volibear is just out of position again. There we go. We have a second Drake. We have Chem Drake. We have Hextech Drake. So that Rel dive there. Setting the Severe. Something's going to happen here. And that's it. Scrubback Lord needs to get out of there, though. Braum's just going to decide not to pursue that, though. Static Shift from Severe is going to be a little bit chaotic. Kha'Zix is going to start pushing away from the Straven here. Yeah, he's just going to get out of that situation. And again, top lane, Jason just getting bullied here. About to get hit by this Volibear. I think the Volibear doesn't want to move on that. I mean, they could easily take tower and then take Jason, but I think there's a whole lot that they can do there. This Braum moving up to Draven. Draven is a bit more fed than Severe here. I think that's the right move to make. Start putting pressure on mid lane. Change your guy over to the Draven. It is a fair strat to have. And I do think it's gonna put so much pressure on Kha'Zix. It's gonna keep pushing him behind. You already have your Jhin that's ahead of things. I don't really know. I would say you just push with the Jhin. Let Kha'Zix suffer. The Braum returned the bot lane, though. Instead. And there goes the top lane tower. There we go. Draven with the crazy things here. Aqualad getting taken out. CSU is starting to fall far behind now. And I think that's just unfortunate at this point. This Draven's just really scary. Yeah, no, and there's nothing that Kha'Zix can do there.
Dominating. Red team's turret has been destroyed.
lot of resets happening here. Feared we were going to be doing some things. Aqualad doing some movements here. Gonna get caught out by this troll ward. Weird, gonna come in. They need to take out this cannon. Getting that bounty would be really huge for them right now. Cannon does not want to lose it though. Rightfully so. Playing a bit more safe now that he has his bounty. Braum coming in to save the cannon. This Braum just really roaming a whole lot, and I think that's good. This Draven's going to start flexing a whole lot though, and that's just really bad for CSU. Draven just getting fed more kills and more kills. I mean, I'm surprised that the Jhin doesn't even have a bounty yet. Like,
Killing spree.
this top lane's just gonna get absolutely messed up here. Looking a bit grim here for CSU.
Red team's turret has been
Yeah, just
destroyed.
another turret down on top lane. This top lane just looking super weak here. It's not even Jason's fault here. Just the cannon being really strong, unable to really pull out anything that he's used to playing against it. Like I said, I think I would rather play against a Teemo than a cannon. We're going to be seeing team kind of congregate on mid. I think they're going to try to go for a mid cannon strat. Last Whisper, though. Only going to continue to bolster the Draven's strength here. Dragon spawning, though. CSU needs to force something here to work. I mean, Jason's just so far behind at this point. This Draven pick was just really strong. We're gonna see that all come out from the Ornn, putting a lot of CS on CSU's side, but unfortunately they're gonna target the Rel there, being really weak to that magic resist. Not exactly the best position to be in. Isaac's trying his best there, putting in some damage. Jason, being the last alive here, is gonna get absolutely shredded by the remainder of the team. And that's just it for CSU. They're gonna start pushing mid lane here. Volibear is gonna end up taking this Drake. Aqualad gonna be rolling out. He was the first to drop. He's gonna be first back up. He needs to get in there.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
We're gonna be moving in. McLord moving in as well.
Blue team has slain the dragon.
That's going to be a free Drake for UMD here. And it's looking more and more grim for CSU. A 7k gold deficit. Not something that you want to be in the middle of. In terms of economy, just UMD, their CS has just been so much more consistent than CSU's here. And that's just really bad in terms of this match here. I don't think there's really any way that CSU can start to come back from a gold deficit. They're going to have to start playing more conservatively, more defensively, waiting for UMD to make mistakes if they want to come back out of this.
The face of your killer is identical.
And yeah, that's just going to be another kill for the cannon. This cannon's just so strong with the Leandri's Lament and the Shadow Flame. There's not really a whole lot you can do against it. The Draven's just strong, the amount of crits that he has, the amount of lifesteal he has. This Braum is just really annoying to deal with. I mean, it's just... It's hard to play into this, especially given you have to play reactively against the team comp. If you let the Draven and the Volibear roam free, then they're going to just take tower after tower. The cannon just being absolutely crazy in the situation now that he's been fed so much. CSU really just needs to collect on some of these bounties. There goes Baron as well. I mean... yeah, no, that's just going to be a loss unless we can get somebody up in here. Kind of take some things. We're going to see a fight here forced out. If I was CSU, I wouldn't have engaged that at all. There's not really much you can do. The cannon's just so strong that, I mean, with Shadow Flame, you can't even approach the cannon.
Find your mark eventually.
CSU just put in a very tight position at this point. Lord having to reset here. Aqualad rolling in, trying to find something to do. Not much that Relic can really do by themselves here in this situation, though. Gonna just have to take things. Have to fish out for that Q. His team's rolling in now. We got Jason moving up to the front. Really, the only hope that you have against this cannon is Jason. CSU is just so far behind at this point that they can't even use Ornn's passive to get any use out of it. Beard's Weird knows that Volibear is out in the jungle here. I see Scrubmichael Lord rolling up into mid lane here. He's going to play a bit more cautiously. He knows that there are things here. He needs to be on this mid lane. He needs to start farming this economy here. That's a good wave clear there. Volibear is back up here. Or no, that's Braum actually. Volibear is going into river though. Aqualad scoping out some things. They're going to see another Baron come up here. CSU really needs to capitalize on this. Yeah, be wary of the cannon. We know that much so far. Unfortunately, the cannon's just going to keep collecting kills here. That Draven just absolutely taking no damage here, man. Like, he's a bigger threat than the cannon, I feel. That's unfortunate. Draven being the last one alive. Probably better for CSU here. But, I mean, there's just not a whole lot you can do in the situation. When you're down so far in gold, I mean, that's over a 10k gold deficit now. There's not a whole lot you can really do in the situation. I feel like the early game, CSU kind of really flubbed a few things here. Yes, they were getting objectives, but they were just also just letting UMD farm, and they fell behind on the CS. I think they were getting a little bit too ambitious with these ganks, get a little bit too ambitious with just kind of roaming around, and it just it let UMD get a lot of CS ahead, especially the Draven, especially the Kennen. I mean, not really much that Jason could have done against the Kennen, and I feel like that's the reason why the Kennen was so strong. And I think Jason really just needs to find a pick that's good against these ranged champs that can bully a little bit, because the Kennen's just really powerful, really annoying to go up against. I mean, Kha'Zix is starting to recover a little bit here, but there's just so few kills in this situation. UMD gonna trade a Braum for a Rel. About to take a Jason. Scrubmichael Lord not able to find anything. We're seeing another inhibitor get taken down by UMD. Does seem like things are looking pretty dire here for CSU. If they can't keep up this defensive, and oh my god, Scrubbic Lord almost getting taken out there. Isaac's falling to the Kennen ult. Scrubbic Lord and Aqualad now. Aqualad by himself, just absolutely getting shredded, and I think that's game there. Unless Jason can pull some sort of miracle, he's going to get a good CC out there. He's going to try to pull him back out. He's stunned, though. He's going to start healing there. That's just going to be the Winions there taking the inhibitor. And that is GG for tonight's game. Unfortunate for CSU. I don't really think there's much else to say there other than UMD's team is looking very powerful, very strong. And honestly, I feel that first game, CSU pulled out some weak picks, pulled out an experimental team comp. I don't think it really worked. I mean, it's a very interesting team combo to pull off, but you have to be unified, and you have to make sure that lanes are at least even and not looking too bleak. And I feel like that first game, things were looking a little bleak for a lot of the lanes there. And I think like game 2, it's just that Draven was left unchecked for the most part. And it's unfortunate to see, you know, basically Draven turn mid lane into bot lane. It's an interesting pick, very interesting pick, and Draven's very dangerous, and he did do the most that game. But that Kennen was able to fester on top lane unchecked, and I mean, there's not really much you can do as a jungler. You don't want to continue to feed the Kennen. Which is why you start feeding the bot lane or the mid lane. But I feel, in terms of that game, CSU just kept chasing squirrels for the most part, especially the late game. They could have started playing a bit more defensively, but they started playing really reactively, which is not a bad thing to play in terms of defense, but I feel like there were some defensive strats there that could have been a little bit different. And looking towards the future here, I think CSU looking at some stronger team comps together, trying to protect some bans, trying to find some good substitutes. I feel like the team comp that they brought into the second game was a standard team comp, but I don't think it had a whole lot of unity going for it. Especially Jason's Ornn pick just going for comfort against this Kennen. I think he really needs to find some sort of... Because top lane is starting to feel like a ranged meta right now. It feels like a lane bully meta or a spacing meta. And Jason, I don't feel like has a whole lot going for him here that can really counter something like a Kennen in terms of the characters that he plays. But I think that's one thing that just kind of left unchecked on top lane there. I mean, the Skarner worked pretty well against the Gwen. And it was playing pretty well up until the end game when Gwen started, you know, getting some kills in some of these team fights and started doing crazy Gwen things. But I think just the Volibear camping top lane, the Kennen getting fed, the Draven just kind of being in mid lane existing was a huge problem for CSU. And I don't think it's something that they really expected to need to deal with. And it's just one of those things to where I'm excited to see how CSU moves forward after this. Using some of this information, finding some different strategies to counter situations like this. I do think the Braum did a whole lot there. I mean, like, yeah, 71 vision score is pretty solid. The amount of CS that came from CSU's side, though, was nothing to scoff at. I think the team comp was a decent one, but I think that they need to consider individual lanes over compatibility with each other as well. Because, like, the Ornn, I love Ornn. He's just really, I feel like he's a little weak. Especially against range champs like Kennen. Especially against anything that's AP. That has the ability to outrange him. And that's going to be it for the night's games. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow on the main channel and secondary channel. We got Valorant Green, and that's it actually. So yeah, no, we got Valorant Green, and that'll be what we'll be running with tomorrow. So definitely stop by for that. That's gonna be an exciting game, Valorant Green. That's the only game. That's the only team I'm really biased for. I feel like our Valorant Green team's just really, really strong. So stop by the main channel, CSU Vikes _GG. That's our main, and I'll catch you guys.